Family, a word that encompasses so much love, trust, and togetherness. Yet it is astonishing how quickly this sacred bond can be shattered, reduced to mere ashes and painful memories. Today I want to share with you a chapter from my own life, a story that I have tried desperately to forget, but one that will forever be etched in the depths of my mind. The events I'm about to recount unfolded exactly 13 years ago, and the repercussions continue to echo through my life to this very day. 12 years ago, my first marriage came to a devastating and heart-wrenching end. If I am to be completely honest with myself and with you, the cracks in our relationship had begun to appear long before the official divorce. Our once loving partnership had already crumbled and turned to ashes a year and a half prior to the legal proceedings. The reason behind the collapse of our union was as simple as it was devastating: infidelity. At the time, we were a young family, full of hope and dreams for the future. I was only 22 years old, and she was just 20. We lived a modest life, sometimes struggling to make ends meet, but we always managed to get by, supporting each other through the tough times. As time went on, our situation began to improve. I worked tirelessly, climbing the career ladder, doing everything in my power to provide a better life for our little family. However, as it turned out, the term family was nothing more than a label, a facade hiding the ugly truth that would soon come to light. Money, as it happened, played a crucial role in the downfall of our marriage. The company I had dedicated myself to suddenly went under, leaving all of its employees, myself included, without a means of support. Those were challenging times, filled with uncertainty and fear, but I refused to give up. I searched tirelessly for work, eventually finding not just one, but multiple jobs to keep us afloat. Even though my combined salary was significantly less than what I had earned at my previous job, I made sure that our family was provided for, that we never went hungry or found ourselves destitute. Unfortunately, as I later discovered, this was not enough for my wife. I eventually uncovered the painful truth, and there's no point in hiding my own sins in the process. I witnessed her infidelity with my own eyes, a memory that will forever be seared into my brain. That fateful day, I came home from work early, and I won't be afraid to use this word. I was injured on the job. I had seriously broken my arm and arrived at what I then considered my home, already sporting a massive cast, a physical manifestation of the pain I was about to endure. As I stepped through the door, I was greeted by a scene that could have been ripped straight from a painting. My wife, tangled in bed with another man, their naked bodies intertwined in a passionate embrace. What followed was like something out of a movie. An awkward, deafening silence, broken only by the sound of my own heart shattering. In a fit of rage and despair, I threw the lover out of the house, sending him tumbling head over heels down the stairs. And yes, I did it with my broken arm, fueled by the adrenaline coursing through my veins. Then came the tears, the snot, the hysterical cries from my wife, accompanied by her awkward, completely absurd and stupid attempts to explain herself to me, to justify the unforgivable. What followed was a year of investigations, questioning, and futile attempts to salvage what was left of our relationship. There were scandals, tears, tantrums, shouting matches that shook the walls, accusations hurled back and forth, and an ocean of wild, insane pain that threatened to drown us both. My wife tried to justify her actions by citing a lack of money, poor living conditions, and a perceived lack of attention from me. However, I refuted all of her accusations, knowing in my heart that nothing could excuse her betrayal. The situation nearly led to divorce, but we were temporarily united by a shared tragedy: the sudden and devastating loss of our close friends, a couple with whom we had been very close, who had been a constant source of support and love in our lives. Their passing was an unbearably heavy burden for us both, and for a brief moment, we found solace in our shared grief. However, the temporary truce did not last long. After 2 years of trying to mend what had been broken, I simply could not continue living a lie. I left, filing for divorce, knowing that my wife had not cheated again, but also knowing that the damage had already been done, that there was no going back. All of my feelings for her had vanished, replaced by a hollow emptiness that consumed me. She tried desperately to fix everything, putting on a perfect silky facade, but you can't escape the truth, no matter how hard you try. I no longer believed her, no longer trusted a single word that fell from her lips. I saw only lies in her, in everything she said and did. The love I had once felt for her had long since turned to pain, fading away like a distant memory. I dreaded going home, feeling like a stranger in my own house, in my own skin. This was not my home. This was not my life, and I constantly expected some dirty trick or blow from her, anything to shatter the fragile peace we had built. She tried to get me to talk, tried to communicate, tried to do something, anything to salvage what we had lost. But it was too late. I filed for divorce, knowing that it was the only way to save myself, to find some semblance of happiness again. You know, I remember that day exactly, September 25th. It's strange and almost comical how everything coincided, because it was on September 25th that we first met, and a year later, on the 26th, we began living together, having made the decision on the 25th. I came home with all the divorce papers, placed them in front of her on the table, and uttered my final words to her. It's time to put an end to this and stop this shitty circus. Amid tears and tantrums on her part, she signed the papers, her hand shaking as she scrawled her name across the dotted line. That very evening, I gathered all of my belongings and left, leaving her the entire apartment, the car, literally everything we had built together. I walked out with only a bag of my personal items, documents, and my faithful dog, the only constant in my life. The divorce proceedings were quick, but the parting was difficult, a long and painful process of untangling our lives, of learning to live without each other. My ex-wife did not stop trying to win me back, to salvage our never happy, and in my opinion always deceitful, fake, and false family. She called, she texted, she showed up at my work, begging for another chance, but I knew in my heart that it was over, that there was no going back. Sometime later, I remarried, and this time it was a success. A true partnership built on love, trust, and mutual respect. My second marriage has been going strong for 11 years now, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the strength of our bond. My ex-wife did not remarry, but according to stories from our mutual acquaintances, she is currently in a relationship, trying to move on with her life, just as I have. Infidelity can be forgiven, and you can try to piece something back together afterward, but you can never forget. Never truly live with the knowledge of what has been done. Cheating is a poison that seeps into every crack and crevice of a relationship, slowly killing everything it touches. I honestly, truly tried for almost 2 years to reclaim the family that was taken from me, to rebuild what had been lost, but in the end I couldn't do it. My wife became not just a stranger to me, but an enemy, a constant reminder of the pain and betrayal I had endured. It was painful for me to touch her, to even be near her, to breathe the same air. It was also excruciatingly painful and offensive to listen to her, to hear all her words about us, about love, about our family, knowing that they were nothing more than empty promises, hollow lies. Cheating destroyed everything we had built, everything we had dreamed of. I realized it too late, wasting 3 years of my life in vain. A year on pointless dismantling and conversations with her, trying to understand why she had done what she did, and 2 years on trying to revive something that never truly existed, a love that had been built on a foundation of sand. 12 years have passed since then, and during this time, my ex-wife has made attempts to communicate, just to talk, to try and find some closure, but I can't, and I don't want to. She no longer exists for me, no longer holds any power over my heart or my mind. She ceased to exist for me the moment I saw her true self, the moment I learned the whole truth, the ugly reality behind the pretty lies. It was all because of money and pride, 2 things that should never have been more important than our love, our commitment to each other. And where am I now? I have my own family, my own business, a life that I have built from the ground up, brick by brick. My family, I'll tell you honestly, wants for nothing, lacks nothing. My current wife has gone through even greater hardships with me than the mere lack of money, standing by my side through thick and thin, through sickness and health. She has proven her love through her actions, through her unwavering devotion and support, and I reciprocate by proving mine to her every single day. I don't regret filing for divorce 12 years ago, don't regret walking away from a marriage that had turned toxic, that had slowly been poisoning me from the inside out. And I wish the same for anyone who finds themselves in a similar situation. Anyone who has been betrayed by the person they loved most in this world. Know that you are not alone, that there is hope, that there is life after infidelity. It may not be easy, and it may take time, but you will heal. You will find love again, and you will be stronger for having survived the unimaginable. Family is a precious thing, a bond that should be cherished and protected at all costs. But when that bond is broken, when trust is shattered and love is lost, it is okay to walk away, to start anew, to build a life that is truly your own. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for putting yourself first, for choosing happiness over suffering. In the end, that is what I did, and it was the best decision I ever made. I hope that my story, painful as it is, can serve as a reminder to others, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Remember, you are not alone, and you are stronger than you know. Keep moving forward, keep fighting for the life you deserve, and never, ever settle for less than you are worth.